Hello everybody, this is Mohammed Yaqub. I'm back again making another STM32 tutorial, and this time it's going to be this STM32F7 Discovery board. People have been asking me for quite a while to make a video about the F7 LCD display and touchscreen. And really, I had a really busy time with my business. I never had the chance to make such video. And this weekend I just had a slack of half an hour and decided to record this video. Alright, so basically setting up this LCD display and touchscreen from scratch with CubeMX can be very complex. There are many libraries that we need to include, many files, many pins and peripherals that we need to enable and include, a lot of clock settings and so on and so forth. Oh, it's thundering here. Right, so that can get very complex and can be very lengthy videos. So what I decided to do instead is I collected all the files and all library files that you need to include in order to get this LCD display and touchscreen to work. And I'll show you how to do that, how to include all the files to your project, and how to set up a CubeMX project for the LCD display in the shortest possible way. So this video perhaps just going to take me 10 to 15 minutes, and we will get the LCD display to work and the touch screen. So stay tuned. Now, first thing we need to do as usual is to open CubeMX to do the project setup. So let's open that. And on CubeMX, click on New Project, navigate to Board Selector window. Type of board is Discovery, MCU series is the F7, and it's the F746G Discovery. And the first thing we will do here is that we will clear all the pinouts. There are pinouts that are enabled by default for the Discovery board. We will disable all of them and enable our own. So go to pinout and clear pinouts. Click yes. First pin I'll enable here is PI0. This one is the LED. It's the onboard LED. And I want to give it a label. I'm going to call it LED. And then we need to enable the CRC unit and the DMA2D. So just activate them. And after that, we will enable the external oscillator. So go to RCC, the high-speed clock, and select the crystal resonator. That's pretty much everything we need to enable in here. So next, go to clock configuration window and select the clock source to the high-speed external oscillator. And the input frequency is indeed 25 megahertz. And I'll set the system clock to 200 megahertz. And it will automatically adjust all the clock trees. All right, and that's pretty much everything I need to do on CubeMX. So as I told you in the beginning, we're not going to set up every single pin from CubeMX. I'd rather include libraries that has got the configuration for the LCD display, external SDRAM, and the touchscreen. All right, so we're ready to generate the code. Click on Generate Source Code icon. Select a location to store your project in. I'm going to store it at this location, and I'll call it LCD F7 video. My IDE this time, however, is not Keel Microvision 5. I'd rather use System Workbench for STM32. And that's because when it comes to LCD displays and GUI libraries, the code size can be very big. That Keel free version doesn't support that much size. In fact, Keel free version only compile up to 32 kilobytes, and I use System Workbench for large libraries. All right, and I'm also going to change my firmware, but in your case you might not need to change that. I'll select version F7 version 1.9, but you might not need to do that, and click OK. And this will generate the source code. So basically you would need CubeMX for this video, and you need System Workbench for STM32. So if you don't have those, you will need to download them in order to carry on with this tutorial. Alright, code is generated successfully, and what we'll do here is that we're going to go to Open Folder, and this will take us to the project location, and I'll copy the project file path. And then I'll open System Workbench. I already have that open. And to add this project to the workspace, click on File, open Projects from File System, and paste the project path here, and click Finish. And this will add your project here. Here it is, it's added, LCD F7 video. Okay, so this is added here. Let me open the main. Okay, and I've got a checklist of the things that we need to do in order to get this working. First thing is we need to copy some files. So I'll go to my project folder location, which is in here, and I'll copy 2 folders that contains the libraries that you will need. As I told you at the beginning, I collected all the files, drivers, and H&C files that you need to include in order to get this to work. So copy these 2 folders. I'll put them down in the description of the video for you to use them. So copy those and put them to your new project location. And first navigate to the GUI HAL library and copy all the H files, the ones that appear in red in here. Copy them and go to drivers, HAL driver, and put them in the include file here. And similarly for the C files, so back to the HAL library folder, copy all the C files and put them into the HAL source file or source folder. All right. And next on our list, we need to include those stuff in the main.h. So I'm going to include them. So back to the main.h. Just going to open the main.h. Just a second. And we need to put those includes in here, right? And those are the HAL libraries, the H, SDRAM, touchscreen, and LCD.h files. And those are files and libraries created by ST Microelectronics that if you want to add from CubeMX can be very lengthy. So what I did is I include them all in one folder and we're going to add them all together at the same time. Okay, next on our list, we need to uncomment the following into the STM32F7 HAL-config.h. So we need to uncomment the SDRAM, LTDC, and UART. So to do that, you need to go to the HAL library folder, or rather header file, and then to the config header file. Okay, I'm going to close this. And you see those here. You need to uncomment SDRAM to enable the SDRAM HAL driver. And you also need to uncomment the LTDC and the finally the UART. Okay, that's it. And next we need to add the following to the interrupt file. So you need to add the LTDC handle type diff for handling the LCD interrupt into the interrupt.c. So add this in begin number 0. I need to add the callback in begin number 1 for the LCD update interrupt. So I need to put this in here. And after that, right, one moment, just a second. Okay, seems like I skipped a couple of steps, so I'll get back. And what I need to do is that I need to include the all right, so I need to include the path. So go to right click on the project folder, scroll down to properties and go to C++ general and go to paths and symbols, and go to GNU-C and add a new path. And what we'll add is that we're simply just going to add the folder that contains all the header files and C files that we need to get the LCD and touchscreen to work. So I'm just going to copy the GUI file path and we'll include it in here. And we also need to include a new source location, which is the GUI files itself, because it contains a lot of source files that we need to compile as part of the project. So add a folder, but I can't see it in here because we need to redo the indexing again. So I'll click OK. Yes. And I'll attempt to compile, but I'll cancel it just for the project to refresh. Sure enough, it did. So back to the properties. Now we should be able to add the source location. Here it is. So I need to include the GUI files folder and click OK. And that's it. So now we're back to normal. Yep. So, and then I need to include the following in my main. So this is to get the touchscreen to work. So I need to put this in begin number 0 in here. This basically just define a variable for the touchscreen that's going to hold the X, Y, and touch pressure and so on. And then I need to enable the cache of the F7 in begin number 1, and need to and by the way, I'm going to include this text file down in the description of the video as well for you to follow up quicker. So, and I need to copy those into my begin 1 inside, or rather begin 2 inside my main. What these will do is that they will initialize the SDRAM, enable CRC, initialize touchscreen panel with the X and Y pixels, initialize LCD display, initialize layer, and give it a defined address in memory to store the LCD buffer. Turn the LCD on, select the layer that we want to operate in, set the background color to blue, and then type a test string at this location. And then this is the touchscreen code. We'll edit later on, but for now I think we're ready to compile and test this particular code. So let me compile and connect my LCD display, and let's see what we can get with this. And while the project is compiling, for any of my business contacts, you can get in touch with me through my own company's website, mutexembedded.com. And as always, if you found those educational videos helpful, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and perhaps build my channel as well if you want to see any of the new videos. Alright, we'll just wait for this now to compile. Alright, perfect, compiled without any errors. Now let's load it to the board, and we're going to have a look at the LCD display together. And what we expect to see the background color to be blue, and something and hello is written somewhere on the top left of the LCD. So let's load that to the board. Alright, and sure enough, you saw that hello is printed on the LCD display with blue at the background. Perfect. Next thing, the final thing we'll do is that we're going to include a quick touchscreen demo code. And what this will do is that it's going to read the touchscreen at 50 milliseconds interval and print the X and Y coordinates on the LCD display of the touch. So let's copy this over to our infinite while loop in the main, and compile and load the code again to the board. Alright, perfect. Our demo is working, and you saw on the LCD display as touchscreen is interactive, and as we move in across the X-axis, we see the X value changes from 0 to 480, and the Y-axis changes from 0 to 276 roughly. Okay, and that's all I want to show you as today's video. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next video.